welcome to Little House of Big. This week we've been in Ridgway State Park, Colorado.
On the western slope.
On the western slope, we've had a really good time.
It's been fun. It's a really nice campground. There's 300 spots, including tent spots, so it's a really big campground. 300 spots across 3 different camp areas. We are in the Dakota Terrace, is what it's called. So we're kind of in the middle. We have electricity, but no water or sewer hookups.
No.
The upper one is called Elk Ridge, and that one has trees, and that's the one we would recommend you, if you can get into, go to. And then the other one that has the full hookups that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, starts with a P, has full hookups, and you pay price. It's not a very pretty campsite.
It's not pretty. It's dry and arid and barren and
No trees.
No trees. It just kind of feels unfriendly.
Yeah.
But the overall, the campground is it's beautiful. It's rained here almost every afternoon, but we're here during Colorado's monsoon season, so I guess that's to be expected.
But it's come and go. It's not like we've had a whole day of rain.
That's true. That's true. It comes in and it rains for a couple hours and goes away, and sunshine comes back out. So as long as you're good with that, it's nice. It cools the day off. It's been pretty hot. Rain comes in, cools things off for a while. The reservoir right now is very low. I'd probably say 12 to 15 feet, perhaps.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot.
It's very down. The swim beach is closed. They have a paddle sports launch area that you really can't use right now. You have to pretty much drive down into the lake bed to get to the water.
And that's called the Dallas Creek entrance, if you're looking it up online. That southern end, where you can do the paddle boards and kayaks and the non-motorized no wake zone area.
Yes. Yeah.
Which we did. We took the dogs down there, and it's a little muddy because it's lake bottom, but we got out there and it was fun, and there's a lot of people out there at the time, so very popular.
Yeah.
Overall, I'd say this is a great campground. They've really paid attention. There's water available in between almost every other site. There's camper services in each camping area. So there's showers and ice and laundry, and there's like 8 to 10 camp hosts wandering around. So there's always somebody to help you or ask a question of or whatever. It's a little dry out here today, but this is Colorado in almost August.
This is a semi-arid desert. Yeah. Despite what you might believe from all the ski footage that you see in the wintertime.
Right.
It's very dry in Colorado.
So what are some of our highlights we've done?
Oh, our highlights. Wow. Well, let's see. Ridgway, which is very close to the campground. 10 minutes maybe. Beautiful little historic town. Lots to see out there.
It's like an arts district, right?
It is. It's one of Colorado's premier creative districts, and plenty of galleries to wander through.
And sculptures through the town, and
yes,
benches. Every bench is different.
Yeah, the place is very creative. It's very artistic. Even the street signs are pretty unique.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We went to a little church down the Church of the San Juans, and it's multi-denominational. Did I say that right? Multi-denominational congregation, and they founded it that way. And we went to a 50s night, so if you are inclined to need a church when you're here on vacation, we highly recommend that little church. It's very cute.
Very friendly people. Yeah, and we had a really good time.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was nice. We also had a meal at the True Grit Cafe.
John Wayne loved Ridgway.
John Wayne did love Ridgway, yes. So the True Grit Cafe is a great experience. The food is phenomenal. It feels like an old-time saloon. Ton of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we highly, highly recommend the Dennis Weaver Memorial Park. That is a must-stop, even if you're not stopping at Ridgway. Take 10 minutes, pull off the highway. It's right off the highway, right before you get into Ridgway going south. and there is an eagle sculpture that has a 21-foot wingspan on it. It is just a special place.
It is. It is. It's great to go in and meditate if that's what you're into, or pray if that's what you're into, or just hang out and have a picnic. It's really beautiful down there.
It's a special, yeah.
It
It's
is.
special energy.
It is. We also went into Ouray.
And you said that right. It's not Ouray.
It's not Ouray. It is not Ouray. It is,
Don't be a tourist.
It is Ouray. Yes. And the town is full of history. It has a rich mining history. Plenty of great shops, wonderful restaurants to go and have a little chow.
And lots of museums. I mean, one of the resources we tapped into was the Ouray Visitor's Guide. You can download it online. They
Update it.
update it every year.
Yeah.
So they're, it's full of all of the restaurants and what type of food that's available, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It has all of the museums. It has all of the local attractions, how to get there, what their setup is. It was a great resource to try and pick and choose, because even though we were here for 7 days, we didn't even scratch the surface of looking around in the area.
There's a lot to see and a lot to do.
One of our favorite things we did was we went over Owl Creek Pass.
Wow, that was beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a rugged road.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. It's a lot of washboards, a lot of rock, but the scenery it's hard to beat. It's almost at every turn it feels like there's just an ooh and an ah waiting for you.
The mountains are hard to describe because you are in kind of a basin, a valley, a basin, and so there's spiky mountains. Our dogs are barking, sorry. Spiky mountains, and then regular, what you would imagine mountains. It's just amazing, the different types of mountains that you can see on that drive. And then it drops down into Silverjack Reservoir, which is another reservoir that is extremely low.
It is.
So we didn't spend much time there. John got some shots, a little bit of photography, but it's hard to describe, and it makes your heart kind of sick to see how low that reservoir is. It's
This part of Colorado is definitely in a drought right now. Even though it's semi-arid and dry, it's drier than usual, and so Colorado's been battling a lot of wildfires and such. So,
but unlike Wyoming, when we were up in Hog Park Reservoir, where the forests were dead, these forests are in great shape. The beetle kill has not come through here. The aspens all look really healthy. So I would highly recommend, if you are here in fall, go over Owl Creek Pass, because those aspens will be phenomenal to see.
yes, they will. Yes, they will. And it is. It's probably the healthiest aspen forests that we have seen in Colorado in a very long time.
Yep.
And speaking of Ouray, when you pass through Ouray, you can take the road up to Yankee Boy Basin. Time warp.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
We had a little technical difficulty, and we didn't catch it, unfortunately, until we got back from the campground and discovered that our video cut out a little prematurely. So here we are
Just to finish it up.
just to finish it up. So we were just about to talk about our trip to Yankee Boy Basin, which was an amazing trip, beautiful scenery. The road up is long, time-wise, very short in the distance. It's what, maybe
5 miles, maybe?
5 miles, but it's about a 2-hour drive. It's very rough, definitely 4-wheel drive. They recommend a short wheelbase, high ground clearance.
They call it a moderate. So if you see one that's a high level of difficulty, don't go on it.
Yeah, unless you're in a very experienced 4-wheel drive or
Right.
four-wheeler.
Four-wheeler.
Yeah, then that may not be for you.
Correct.
But the trip up is slow, but it is beautiful almost every step of the way up there. It is high altitude. This is up around 10 to 12,000 feet. It's 12 and a half by the time you get to the basin. And so the weather up there is very unpredictable. Thunderstorms are common. So
And we got caught in one of those with some hail.
we did. We got caught in one halfway up. We got caught in one while we were up there. It's just good practice anytime you're in the Colorado high country to be prepared for rapidly changing weather.
Jacket,
Jacket,
short sleeves.
short sleeves. Don't get too far away from your vehicle because it can turn to hail, and you don't want to be caught in that. Yeah.
So it was a lovely drive, beautiful wildflowers.
We would.
Hard to photograph this time, but gorgeous to see, look at and see.
Yeah. The light was pretty great for us. Best time of day, of course, is sunrise or sunset. Personally, I would not want to try to negotiate the road to Yankee Boy Basin either in the dark before sunrise or in the dark after sunset. It's pretty scary. Most of the road is blasted right out of the canyon walls, and boy, it's a long way down.
It is a long way down. And we did see a lot of people who had rented ATVs or smaller like Jeeps, and I would think that those little ATVs might be exactly the way to go up that road.
I think so. I think it would be fun. It would be fun too. There's plenty of places in Uray that you can rent those, and I think they were about $90 for 4 hours, which is just about enough time to go up and enough time to come down, but not enough time to really hang out up there and enjoy the beauty. One thing to watch out for, just so you know, is the waterfall in the Coors can.
Yep, right out of Yankee Boy Basin.
Yankee Boy Basin. So it was a great time. We really enjoyed our stay in Ridgway. We and the dogs would give it 4.5 paws.
Yep, and we will be back because we just kind of barely scratched the surface of what there is to see. Tons of 14ers, tons of trails, tons of history down in that area.
Yes, it is.
We could spend a way longer than a week, so we'll be back.
Yeah.
So
Coffee
that's
up.
it. Coffee up.